And up next, FMCSA officially withdraws speed limiter rules for heavy trucks. About time. The trucking industry has been fighting speed limiters for decades. And finally, somebody's in that office that got smart that said, look, we're not going to be doing it because the youngsters that were born after the 90s, you don't remember when speed limits like California at 55 miles an hour, Ohio and Illinois had the same thing. 55 miles an hour for trucks, but everybody else could go 65, 60, 65. Speed limiters near you being in cars. Just because the speed limit is 80 miles an hour out west, New Mexico, Arizona, out in the Dakotas, doesn't mean you have to go 130, 140. Do that on a track someplace. My opinion, cars need to have speed limiters on them, not semis. Semis, you got a heck of a time pulling a hill as it is. You need to turn around and work the hills. That you got to get a good run. And there again, you don't have to be doing 100 down a hill to get up the other side because of the weight shift and everything. So, yeah. FMCSA, let's get to the article, officially withdraws speed limiters. Has withdrawn a proposed rule that will require speed limiter devices on heavy trucks. This was a notice. A notice is always published in the Federal Register anytime this agency, which is Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, is an agency of the government, that they're going to propose to do something. Okay? They withdrew 2016 notice of proposed rulemaking to require the heavy-duty trucks be equipped with speed limiter device that would have governed the truck at a speed determined by federal officials, 65. So you're all four-wheelers, cars, people that drive cars, are always complaining and being aggravated when two trucks are going down the road at both 65 miles an hour. And nobody's passing anybody. And they're kind of pacing each other. So, it just... everybody gets aggravated. So if you could imagine if that's mandatory, that all trucks were 65 and nobody could pass anybody, what a line of bull hockey. The rule withdrawal follows up on efforts made under the Trump administration to deregulate trucking and to improve the lives of American truck drivers. In late June of this year, Transportation Secretary Sean P. Duffy rolled out the pro-trucker package that I discussed in episode 149 of initiatives designed to support the trucking industry, which includes a promise to withdraw speed limiter rulemaking. In explaining the decision to withdraw the speed limiter rule, FMCSA pointed to a 2022 advance notice of supplemental proposed rulemaking that indicated the agency's intention to move forward with speed limiter rulemaking. It's also called for public comment on a plan to require motor carriers to limit speeds for certain motor vehicles operated in interstate commerce that were already equipped with an electronic engine control unit, ECU, capable of setting the speed limits. The maximum speed of affected CMVs was to be determined by the rulemaking, and motor carriers would have been required to maintain that maximum speed in that electronic ECU computer unit for the service life of the vehicle, like forever. You could never shut it off. Of the 15,638 comments received, approximately 300 supported moving ahead with speed limiter rulemaking, while over 15,000 comments opposed the speed limiter rule. Several commenters included the owner-operator and independent OOIDA Drivers Association indicated that limiting a truck speed would have adverse impacts on drivers' incomes because reducing travel speeds would reduce the number of miles traveled as well as the number of pickups and deliveries. And you're always going to be late for an appointment. Other commenter issues included higher fuel costs, impact to driver well-being, and ease of parking due to additional hours a driver must have to spend driving to complete that task. And having to start early in the morning and drive until you could find a place to park. Because, of course, anybody that drove over the road, you know now that truck stops are filling up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, no matter what part of the country you're in, where before it was like 7, 8 o'clock at night. So officials ultimately conducted that there was no compelling data showing that the speed limiter rule would have increased highway safety. So after all these studies since 2016, almost 10 years of studying this issue, they finally figured out that it wasn't gonna promote highway safety. So it's about time. So the article goes on. I'm not gonna continue on it, but thank goodness somebody finally came to their senses on this issue. Again, my opinion.